silent, quiet. So, and I'm wearing a different uniform today. This is being recorded because we're going to use this as an example for the long form class. So today's class, we're just going to practice the Tai Chi form. We're going to start practicing all 3 Tai Chi form sections, and then we're going to come back and replay the whole thing and take breaks where people have a need for updated understanding. Or this is not a forms application class. So if we talk about the meaning of a posture, it will only be to achieve the correct form. It's not necessarily about application. And even the form, I'm not here to try to demonstrate the best thing as much as I am to demonstrate the order and that type of thing. So allow your feet to touch, bring your head top up to the highest point, relax your shoulders, bring your hands together in the center. Take a deep breath. And let's review what we should be doing while we're practicing the form. This is in my regular weekly classes. I talk a lot about Tai Chi principles. So this is the head top being up all the way, is keeping the head top extended. And then moving down the body, relax your brow. Keep your brain and your forehead relaxed. Open your vision. If it's real early in the morning, sometimes the eyes are sleepy, it's puffy. Allow the eyes to open your sinuses, open your nostrils, and connect the front of the face to the corners of the mouth. So activating the corners of the mouth, there's points on the stomach meridian and acupuncture that go through there. Even if you're not happy, you can have the energy just turned up slightly. Keep your chin tucked. Internal martial arts, keep the tongue connected to the upper palate. The neck is straight, shoulders are rolled back and relaxed, and expand your shoulders outwards. Feel as if while you're standing you can push your shoulders both left and right. The chest is hollow. There's a small space in the armpit. The elbows, wrists are relaxed. We're using the center to support. The tailbone is hanging like an anchor so that the lower back can both unroll and unfold vertically and horizontally. Inside of the hips, pardon me, folding. Relax your knees, expand your ankles, gripping your toes, cupping the outside of your foot and pulling your heel forward. The only thing that I missed is lifting the base of the torso when you breathe. Out of those, the 3 internal components we should be considering: tongue on the roof of the mouth, lifting the base of the torso, and gripping the toes. So just to update people joining this class, we're going to practice the Tai Chi form, the 3 sections, and it's not going to be a type of applications class, and this is also not going to be a type of me doing the form perfectly class. I'm not here to demonstrate or compete. This is more about ordering and connecting the ordering together. So we're going to run through the whole form one time, and then when we come back, we're going to do it again and take bookmarks where people need to pause. This is being recorded. I'm being recorded. So yeah, enjoy. Feel free at any time, at any point, to ask questions. In fact, if you'd like to start with something that's not what I'm doing, we can do that now. So in lieu of a warm-up, we're going to do the first, actually all of them, all 3 sections as the warm-up. So pick a space. By the way, this form, if we were to look at it on paper, I can actually take a piece of paper and draw something super quickly for us. Maybe not as quickly as I anticipate. The form, a lot of Chinese martial arts forms, moving all around, they have changes in direction. This form starts, if you take your starting point, where you begin, it travels about 4 steps forward and about 20 to the left. So with that in mind, most of the rest of the action in the form happens here. The form does not end where it starts. So When I start the form on video, I start over here, and then we move around and we do all kinds of stuff, and we come back here, and most of the rest of the form taking place in this area, going back and forth, and then ending right around here, even though we started right there. So this is a bit of mapping for people that are experienced with the form. For people watching at home, this can be very confusing. If you don't know the Tai Chi form, if you've never studied a martial arts form before, just hang in there. And we will have the names, both in English and in Mandarin, on the YouTube commentary. So look for the links to the PDFs below the video on YouTube. So let's actually, if there's not questions, comments, ideas, let's actually start. Allow your feet to touch, bring your head top up, relax your shoulders. Start in Tai Chi harmony. Connect the tongue to the upper palate, grip your toes, lift the bottom of the pelvis. Take a deep breath. Move your chi to the center, move your energy right to your dantian. And then opening sideways, this is commencement. I'm going to use the English terms today for ease of use. We can examine the Mandarin, it's very important. Grasp the sparrow's tail, left, right, ward off, roll back, press, push, look left, glance right, double press, horizontal, split hands, hook, single whip, lift hands to up posture. I'm facing due north, brush. We're going to turn the
I apologize. I was asking someone to take the dog out.
Oh, that's no problem. Okay, yeah, sure. Yeah, but this class, if you have a question, we're going to break. So let's go back to where we were. We did lift hands to up posture. We turned 90. This is crane, opening the wings. So way, pee pa, press. So square step back. White crane opens the wings. Play the harp, brush knee, press. Brush knee, C-step, press. Brush knee, C-step, press. This is called holding the moon in the chest. Punch. Ban man shui. Means move, parry, punch. Move is the first one. All right, welcome. I'm gonna move my position back here. So ban man shui is move. Lan is open, punch, and then that repeats on the other side. Ban, lan, shui. One more time. Ban, lan, shui. Rufong. Slabi. This is as if an enclosure. Sorry, I'm doing some Mandarin. Return tiger to mountain. This is turning body, warning palm. I'll move to the center. Facing due south, palm press. Roll back. Press. I'm facing south. It's a little confusing working with the camera, but it will work itself out. Push. look left, glance right, double press, horizontal, split hands. Now I'm facing east. We have hook. This is called turn back to look at the moon. Right hand covers on top, left hand comes back through the center. Repulse the monkey. Press. Repulse the monkey number 2. Press. Repulse the monkey number 3. Press. Open to the side. This is called diagonal flying. Continue the arc. This is called needle to the bottom of the sea. Keep your back and neck straight. This is called fan through back. We're going to turn, block, punch, kick, fen shen pi shen shui. Lan, it's open. Punch, di bu hua. Fold knees down, keep your neck and back straight. Shen bu li, change step, roll back. Press. Push. Look left. Glance right. Double press. Horizontal. Split hands. We're facing north. This is hook. Side whip. And this is cloud hands in the second section. 1, 1, 2, 2, 3, 3. The Alsha is hook. Corner whip. This is Gao Tan Ma, pat the high horse. So reach, turn, kick, Gao Tan Ma number 2. Kick, turning, scoop, brush, press, brush knee, C-step, press, brush knee, straight step, punch, Zimbu Zai Shui. Turning, block, punch, kick, lan, shui. This nickname is bend the bar. In English, it's called left deflect. Da li is big rollback. Embrace tiger. Da li, big rollback. Embrace the tiger. Step, pull right, kick right, step, 2, 3, pull, kick, block, punch, kick, lan, shui, rufeng, sibi, as if in enclosure. We're ending the second section just like we end the first. Return tiger to mountain. Bring the feet together. This is called turning body. Warning palm. Roll back. Press. Push. Look left. Glance right. Double press. Horizontal. Split. Hook. This is a side whip. We're facing east. This is wild horse parting his mane. 1. Wild horse parting his mane. 2. Wild horse parts his mane. 3. Breathe deep. This is roll back. Press. Push. Look left. Glance right. Double press. Horizontal split. Hook. Side whip. We're facing north, and this is called Jade Lady working the shuttle. First corner, sometimes nicknamed Four Corners. Second corner. Third corner. Fourth corner. In the text form, this is called stick arm, which is a type of rollback, press, push, look left, glance right, double press, horizontal half smile hands, hook. This is a corner whip, and you can step a little bit longer on this one because this is the first snake creeps down. We go into Jinji Duli, Golden Rooster standing on one leg. Repulse the monkey, 1, 2, 3. Sherfei is diagonal flying, is the same. And then when we do Heidi Zhang, needle at the bottom of the sea, it's the left hand. This the needle in the third section. Otherwise, very similar. Punch. Fold knees. Keep your back and neck straight. Change step. Take a deep breath to roll back. Press. Push. Look left. Glance right. Double press. Horizontal. Split hands. Hook. Side whip. And this is cloud hands in the third section. 1, 1, 2, 2, 3, 3. The owl show is hook. Corner whip. Keep turning. Snake flashes his tongue. Turn around. Pull right. Cross kick. Brush low. Punch low. This is a half. Fold knees. Change step. Breathe deep to roll back. Press. Push. Look left. Glance right. Double press. Horizontal split. Hook. This is a corner whip. This is the second snake creeps down. And this time when we return, step up to 7 stars. We're going to turn 90 degrees to the north for ride a tiger. We're going to turn 180 for white lotus. Open the bow to shoot an arrow. Block, punch, kick, breathe deep, lan, shui, as if enclosed, press once, twice, turning. Return tiger to mountain. Blocking, punch right, punch left. Breathe deep and return to Tai Chi Harmony. Okay, so for people that joined after the initial beginning speech, this is kind of a forms ordering class. We can break down how postures move, what the meaning is, but I don't know that I'll spend too much time working on application. I'm gonna try to develop a series for that. Anyone have questions, thoughts? Yes, go ahead.
Can you walk through, I'd love to review some of the details. After 7 stars, when you make the 90-degree turn, what you're doing with your hands, and then bow and arrow too, just how that is set up.
Yeah, okay, so these are, the last part of it is open the bow to shoot a tiger, or shoot a bow. Let's actually just do the part that you requested. So the step up to 7 stars. This is identical to in the first section when we have a hook and whip, and then we close and step up this way. This step up, that's the meaning behind it. So in here we have a hook, corner whip, snake creeps down, and the corner whip goes to the 45. So if we're talking directionality like a grid, if I'm do my hook, the whip, I'm stepping and turning my square this way, and my power goes to the 45. And then when I return to step up to 7 stars, I'm back on the cardinal direction. I'm back facing west. And that sort of, that return arc, I'm using that momentum to bring that back up into 7 stars.
And 7 stars is left fist over right, correct?
I'm doing my right fist inside. But 7 stars is the fistedness is only important when you're, like if you're trying to get under somebody's armpit or ribs or something like that, which one doesn't matter. The goal is to take all these little bumps and ridges that you have on your hand and your forearm and grind them over the ribs or the face or some other soft area that, so could you put one in front of the other? Let's see, for this one, I'm going to cross. When I come back, I have my,
Okay.
I don't know. I use my right hand. So it doesn't, I don't think it matters. You may find, for the application, if the person is open a certain way, you may want to have that closed, right? So this is a gating issue. You have to protect your gate. But it doesn't matter. Could you put the hands together so there's no crossing and do this? Yes. Is it as structurally powerful? No. So just, I would say pick one. Let's see what happens in the first section. So we have hook, and we have whip, and then we turn and split, and then from here the right side, I have the right side on the outside. Actually the left one. Because on that one, we're taking the person's arm, snap the elbow. This one is pushing that arm aside. So that's my gatekeeper. This one could come up on the outside or inside. It doesn't matter. How do I do it? Is I think after I'm pushing this, that this one is going on the other side of that arm. So I use my right hand on the outside.
I guess I had been assuming there was some kind of symmetry to right over left, left over right, because at the end of the first section, aren't we specifically doing right over left before?
Okay, so you're talking about the transition to get to first to second.
Yeah, or right before you, when you're remove yeah.
So this one, the reason this one has an importance priority is we have talked about, this one I can demonstrate with a stick, is it's the ability to actually track the opponent. And step up to 7 stars is not a trap. But the return tiger to mountain has a trapping element. Imagine that this stick coming off here is somebody's foot or leg. Maybe I can get a better, right? And they're kicking at my center, and I want to take that power and fling it out of the way. So I go right, and then the left. If I put my left underneath it here, you can see that stick can roll off
in any direction. It's just being connected with one point. But now, if I take my left hand and I wedge it between those two, I can actually hold that stick with my forearms. So imagine you're playing volleyball, and there's two different ways that you can hit it. If you use your arms kind of level, you hit it one way. But then if you form a cup, it does something different. So in this one, for return tiger to mountain, there's a need for ordering, and it depends on how this one is connected to the target first. The other one wedges in between it. For this roll-up thing, the arm isn't important. I'm using my right hand on the outside, but you could do it either way. And I don't think, even depending on how your opponent is facing you, that matters, because it's a close, you're closing the circle. Now how you get out of that may be something different.
Thank you.
Yeah, and also this is something, you may find something that we haven't talked about here. By looking at it over and over again, if you like this posture, if you like that, some postures speak to people more than others. So you may dig into it to find something. All right, if there's no questions immediately, let's go back and do just the second and third. Oh wait, you wanted to review the end of the third section. So snake creeps down, step up to 7 stars. In fact, I do have my right hand on the outside, because the next posture, when I step back for Kwahu, in the Mandarin, the following posture, this is step up to 7 stars. The next posture is called Kwahu, looks like this. And Kwahu means ride a tiger, ride the tiger. And so what's happening is I'm turning back to the north, I'm facing due west. And then when I turn, here I have my right hand on the inside. That's funny. I'm stepping, my arms almost out to the side, and then I'm going to make 2 taiji symbols that end up in the front and back. So here my right hand's on the outside. So when I step, turn, here. Let's look at that from another angle. If I face the camera this way and I step back to turn, Kwahu, I'll face a different angle. Step, turn, Kwahu. So what's happening with Kwahu? We have a block, we have another hit here, and this hand comes back just like when we have we have hook, right? This. And then in the third section we have cross kick, which we have like a type of hit like this that then opens, right? This type of hit. So this beak fist, right? Sometimes people call it beak fist, is making a taiji symbol that ends up in the form coming up and backwards this way. And the front hand is, TC used to say, have you ever been to a fancy party where they have really big wine glasses? I mean, not comedically big wine glasses, but really large wine glasses. He would say, imagine you have a very large wine glass and it's filled, drink the wine, right? So this is the movement for Kwahu, right, is here. And Kwahu is one of those that, for the application, is in another Kung Fu form, like this, right? But in this form, is a taiji. So let's continue. So we roll up, we step to get facing the north. My hands at this point, out here, right? And then turn. And then they're kind of both in the front, and then one comes up, one goes back. But we don't want to just make straight lines. If you look for this one, you'll find the taiji symbol everywhere. It's a very fun one to perform. I don't like it for martial arts, but for the form. And what's happening with the feet? Just like in hook or whip, we have the feet parallel. You can raise one, you can leave it down, or like in crane, you can put it out there. So let's look. If we turn here, that's one way. to do it. But I can go here, turn, wow. So find this shape is more than a taiji. It's 1, 2, 3, 4. So it comes the left hand. After we're here, if I don't do the steps, I open, it comes in front, around, back, and up. There's an upwards. So like, remember, the name of it is Ride the Tiger. So we have to have, tiger is going to be jumping all around. You have to have a hand on the neck. And this one is the tail going up in the back, something. So roll up, kwahu, ride a tiger. And the next one is almost like the transition, except we're adding a kick. So you know when we transition to second and third section, we step T, palm press to the center. Well, this one, after we do kwahu, we step to the T, and then these hands here, this is this movement, take your wrists and connect them and turn them like this. And then imagine there's a stick or a string between them, and you can't push them closer together or pull them further apart, and then do the same thing. So like you have the invisible taiji chi ball is stuck between your wrists and you're moving around it. This is like a lot of martial arts contain this movement. It's a moving net. So when something comes into it, right, if something is pushing in my center or my face, whatever the thing is here, right, at this level, I can take this, is this sticky on camera? No, you know, right? I can turn and catch it. So that's the first part of lotus kick. I'm facing the other direction. I'm doing kwahu, minding my own business. And there's power coming from behind me. When I step, my hands, I have my left hand underneath and my right hand on top. And then when I finish the movement, it's the reverse or more. So from changing from south to north, turn the chi ball at least. This one feels like you can continue to turn it, spin it out of the way. And we can go too far, we'll talk about that. So we have ride a tiger. I'll face a different direction. Imagine that's north. And then when I turn, my hands are here. And I'm going to unwind my body and my hands at the same time. Because then that foot is going to come up together, right, to do the thing. So let's practice. Sorry, wrong foot forward. Wait, what was it? What were we doing? It's not, okay. 7 stars, step up, and then turning. Kwahu. Form a T, turn, and then step. So this one also is very fun to do, and this incorporates a little bit of bagua. There's some turning of the body, right? If I'm facing north and I'm doing kwahu, I turn, catch, hit, punch, continue, turn, punch, step. So there's some turning. And let's just practice it again. Step, ride a tiger, kick, step, punch. So what's the kick? We talked about what's happening with the hands. So if I'm in kwahu, when I turn, my hands are doing this. This kick, by the way, is conservative. And for people practicing at home, they can't get a kick over their head, something like this. Don't try to hurt yourself or strain yourself. This one is actually a low kick. In fact, my teacher, TC, was not in favor. Sometimes you see taiji forms, people doing these very fantastical kicks. In martial arts, there's no real place for that, right? As soon as somebody's leg is up above their knee, they're very easy to tackle. They're very easy to topple. So in real martial arts, another teacher said, there's only 3 kicks. 1, 2, 3. And you're attacking the foot, the ankle, and the shin. Kicking somebody in the groin, maybe snap kick. Maybe he said there's 4 kicks, right? And that's coming from somebody who's using a lot of doing personal security type stuff, because this flashy kick is for show. It's to demonstrate how limber your body is and that you can maintain the balance while coming up from something deep and then hitting high and changing direction. That's for demonstration. Nobody's really fighting like that. All right, let's continue forward. So the kick is just the knee. Let's just practice if you have your hand and your knee. And the foot, if your knee is about level, your foot's about here. And if you see where that is, that's right behind somebody's knee. So even though it's called, the name for this one, by the way, in the Mandarin is called Bai Lian. And Bai Lian means white flower. And white flower is turned into lotus. And because there's a kick, in English this is called the lotus kick, or white lotus. So facing forward from Kwahu, I turn, step, these hands turning. You can just make this a circle. If you studied with Gene, he studied with Chen Menqing lineage, and they just make a circle here. But TC incorporated this martial arts aspect of it. The kick, for those of you studying for competition training for high level, you can make the kick, the outside of the foot is going to somebody's face, right? Something like this. So you can make this big and flashy if you want. One of the goals is to have your balance after you deliver the power. You're still on one leg. So you start small, baby steps. That means the posture is finished. We're moving on to the next one. Let's continue to open the bow to shoot a tiger, which is sort of the apex of this form. This is the last custom movement that we have to learn. So from Kwahu, we have Bai Lian. And now that I'm here in the air, when I say step back, I'm stepping. This one is a weird one that doesn't step to a square. Your foot in this one, when you step back, is going to step almost in line, maybe 15, 20 degrees back, because when we turn, we're going to end up with more of a gongbu stance facing this way. So this one has a weird stepping, and we'll cover it more later. This is, remember, this is the last posture. So it's the most advanced thing. It's going to take some time to understand. For those of you that have studied it, continue. For those of you that haven't, hang in there. This is the last second. This is the last custom posture in the third form. So let me face a different direction. We have Kwahu. I turn, lotus kick, stepping back just a little bit behind your foot in this way, because we're going to end up with something much more square when we turn. The feet on this one are turning. How many here lock your knees, can do this? Do the twist, right? As if the pivot point from your hip is going all the way through your foot, right? We don't want the knee to twist in the center, right? So we'll use my sleeve here as the example. The whole arm twists. We don't want the knee to be twisting here. Ouch, that's knee pain. So grip your legs, make them firm, and shift. You can incorporate your arms if you want, right? How many here? Everyone here, and at least in my class, I know is old enough to remember the twist. Online viewers, you'll have to look up. Is it Chubby Checker? I don't know. Let's continue. So this twisting movement is where the power is coming from, because we're twisting the feet, we're twisting the body, and we're twisting this one. I know one person in this class has studied with Master Su. Has anyone in this class studied with Master Su? Practice something that looks like this. 1, 2, 3. Right? There's a type of, I think, is it Peguam or is it Baji that has this? We have like a 1, 2, or wait, sorry, you're coiling here and shoot the chi out to the side, right? I'm doing it incorrect on purpose because I'm not allowed to teach their material, but the concept is you look like a Power Ranger. You're in a gongbu stance, and your center is turning, and the arms are flying off the center. So imagine How many here have ever seen the child's toy? It's a stick with a drum, and it has the strings with the little beads on it, and you turn it, and it goes thump, 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 right? This is the feeling, is after we've done kwahu, when we turn to do this kick, once I plant my foot, right, imagine that I'm a machine and I don't have, it's not arms, it's a center post, and these are cables. It's swing hands. But now we're learning to direct that power right to where it goes. Right? So let's continue. This is end of third section. Kwahu. Step. Catch and turn here for lotus kick. Step back. This hand is blocking. Right? So the avoid is, we have kwahu. The step forward is the avoid. The hands, oh wait, we're past that. We have kick. So the avoid, we're stepping. We have make contact as this hand here is turning, and the advance is the punch. Step. Bailian is lotus kick, and then step back. Intercept with the back of the hand, and then turning to the forehand out, and the power is rotating. So this whipping, and that, what that upper hand is doing is, when I'm here, right, we're going to imagine this stick is attacking me. I've just done lotus kick, and here comes a stick from off camera. And I have the back of my hand towards the stick, and then it's turning to catch the stick this way. So imagine somebody's punching you. They want to punch at your face the same way the stick was coming. You have the back of the hand first, and then you're rolling the hand to end up this way. So that we have a defense. What if we're too slow? What if the other person's super fast and we can't do that rolling trick? That rolling will help us move their hand up and out of the way if we can't stick to it. What if it's too powerful? That sticking, rolling will help us transfer the energy down to our arm so we can slide it back here. We may be now out of form, but we've blocked them and we're ready to strike. So where does the punch go? Kwahu, Bailian. If I'm catching, if they're attacking with their right hand, this punch right under the armpit. And this is a lethal. If you punching into the center to the ribs underneath here, you can look up the acupressure points online. You can damage the heart to a point of bad place. So don't use this one, right? Opening, punch, and then let's see what happens. What's next? We have step up, ride a tiger, Bailian, Kwahu, and then that's not Kwahu. It's open the bow to shoot tiger. Block, punch, kick, lan, shui, rufong, subi. This third form ends exactly the same way the first and second forms end. By the way, for people practicing along at home, just a side note, and by the way, this class says it's due up to be in like 10 minutes. I have another meeting queued, so if we can continue to go longer as we need, and it won't interrupt, we'll just have some audio to edit. I lost my train of thought. Kwahu. Oh, for people learning, these movements: roll back, push, press, look left, glance right, double press, split, hook, and some variation of whip. Those repeat about 8 times throughout the form. So if you can sort of learn that, you'll have the guideposts for learning new postures. So my first application series, I'm going to teach commencement up through the first hook and whip. That way people that are interested to learn can at least have that section as a guidepost, and those will have application. When I film that series, that's going to be on, I'm going to have I'm bringing in some support, somebody to help somebody that's
strong would be a good martial arts opponent so that we can see these techniques actually working to make sure that they're effective. Let's do this. Anyone have questions, thoughts, comments, ideas? Yes, go for it.
Next time, can we spend a little time with Pat the High Horse?
Yes, let's actually do it right now. By the way, I don't know if you caught what I just said a second ago. My plan is to make this class go as long as it need be, so we may need to rejoin. I'll put a link in the chat for this one. But let's do Pat the High Horse now. This is in the second section. It's after cloud hands, and we have not been doing it because we've been stopping right after cloud hands. But we have after cloud hands, we have hook. I'll do it from the center, and then when we turn the square 90 degrees, the feet turn 90, and we have single whip facing side. Pat the High Horse, we have avoid is the left side. So the whole left side does the avoid. We're stepping back, and I make a half circle, right? We're bringing the momentum because we're using this hand to potentially start a block, right? So we avoid. And after we avoid this the right side and left foot, there's a cross step to make contact. And you see my body is kind of sprung, right? My one foot's forward, the other foot's back. And we're going to use that power to kick, that sprung power. But yes, Charlotte did both. She did the correct form and the power. But in the Taiji form, we hide it. We're hiding all our power. We don't want to show anybody. So, where were we? Let's see. We said hook, corner whip, avoid, make contact, and then you can just turn that into a nice circle, right? What's happening here is I'm blocking any weapons or hands, and that time I did a straight step back. It should be a cleaner semicircle. Is here. This other hand is scooping to come forward with the foot. I'm reaching through the opponent's center line and pulling that center line down. This other hand comes over the back and can hit. So that's where the name for this one is Pat the High Horse, right? Is what people used to call it in Los Angeles. So this other hand, imagine there's a big horse, and we like to connect with the animals, right? So you reach up over its mane, right on the back here, and you pull it down gently so that you can reach over and give it a pat, right? This is the idea. By the way, same thing, this kind of smack, if you hit somebody in the center of the back, triggering heart chi can be very dangerous. So, pat the high horse gently, right? I'm used to doing it over there. So, avoid, make contact, advance. And what happens, this hand goes into the center. If you pull the horse and you pull it off to the side, it will run out past you. But if you have the horse in front of you and you pull its head to the center, even if it goes to run, you're on top of it. You can go for a horse ride, something like that. More clear, right? Let's do part 2, right? Because this was.
Yeah, I think I was missing that first back sweep, and then I remember. Now I'm starting to remember that you're grabbing somebody from the back of the neck and then smacking their head on the knee.
That's right. But this grab to the neck, you're not just grabbing their neck like this and pulling it forward. You're grabbing across the neck this way and pulling it into the inner thigh. Let's practice. We'll do it like 4 times, and then let's continue to the second part. I'm going to change my angle and face this way. So I have hook, corner whip. I have avoid, make contact, advance. And now when I turn 90 degrees, I put my foot in the direction I want to place. I'm going to stand on that foot, and then my arms just unwind, kind of like we did before. You can practice the form that way. But in this one, in the second one, right, so let's see. We're here. I'm doing it closer to the camera so that I can use the camera as a guide. Right? It's 1, 2, 3. And now this one, the same thing. I'm reaching to the center line here,
And when I turn, I'm going to pull that center line inside my center here. So we reverse the posture is left and right. And this one, I like to make something fancy. You can modify it as you like. So 1, 2, when we do this, I like to hold a big yoga ball and make this kick something. And then I repeat that on the other side. Step, catch, turn. But you can change it how you like. And that's the extension, by the way. That's the extended version. If you avoid, you catch the person and they start to get away from underneath your grip, you can get all the way out there with the snap kick. So this is, we do use snap kick in this Tai Chi form. Same thing with Jinji Du Li. If you catch somebody here and they start to escape, you can extend that weapon as they start to back away, give them something on their way out the door. Let's do that a few more times. So if we hook them with, actually, let's start another class, because I'm worried about time running out.
So, Brian, you want us to all step out and just sign back in?
No, I don't know if that will work. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a link in this chat. Can you see that?
Yep.
Yeah.
You have to open down in your little bubbles at the bottom of the screen. There's one that will say like,
You have a link there.
yeah, there's one that looks like a text chat on the right side, I think.
Yeah.
It says chat with everyone. If you click that, if you click on that link, it will open a new meeting.
Ah, okay.
Yeah.
So just click on that.
Yeah. Alright, I think everyone has made it to this one. Cool, we're here. You can hear me. Everything's cool. Alright, let's continue.
Get rid of the old
Let's do
one.
this a few more times. By the way, we have a whole other hour and I can extend this further. I've planned, this could go for 3 hours. So take all the time. If you have the time and you have the questions, we can continue for as long as you need. So let's do this. Remember the second part of Kwa. This time I'm going to face north. So I have hook, whip, avoid, make contact, advance. And now, when I step back, avoid, make contact, advance. And the next one is interesting as well.
So Brian,
Steve,
the hop
go
in that
ahead.
one, does the hop come before, let's see, the hop, I'm sorry, the twist comes before the scooping foot, or they're sort of simultaneous?
No, the movement has to come first.
Okay.
And then you have to have the 1 foot planted. Does everyone here know at least the basic of what this posture is? This is a real kind of, I used to be mischievous when I was younger. So I used to practice this posture in the office with guys I didn't like, right? Imagine you're sitting in your office chair, and if you've ever seen, you know, cats, sometimes they sit and they watch something for just the right moment and then they go for it. This posture requires that kind of timing. So I would sit in my office chair and guys I didn't like, they'd walk past. This is my old self, right? I'm not this way anymore, I don't do this. But when they walk past, you can just put your foot, like right as they go to step, and if you put your foot underneath it and then move it, they step on your foot and then they don't have a thing and they lose their balance, right? And if you do it real far, if you do it far enough, more than about like a couple of inches, the person will fall down. So the technique that's embedded here, let's actually look at it. If we do the form from hook and loop, you guys can watch or participate as you like, right? So in this one, I'm demonstrating something. Turn, pull, kick. Second one, pull, kick. There's my opponent. I'm turning to face him. You can hop, or I'm traditionally spin on your heel. And then the timing for this is when their foot is off the ground at all, right? We scoop it and move it to the side We move any weapons that are there, and if they still haven't fallen down, we come in with consong behind it, the warning palm, to push them out of the way. So this, is it labeled in the form? This one, I don't think is, I think this is one of the like micro movements that doesn't have a official place, because for anyone that was in Westwood, Steve may remember, somebody named it Hop to East. There was
Kicking leaves off the ground.
yeah, kicking leaves. So that's a way to practice in the park in Santa Monica and in West LA. In the fall, the leaves would go on the ground, and they're kind of just sitting on the grass. And so you want to be able to get your foot without disturbing the grass under the leaf to scoop it up. Another concept is, imagine there's a coin or something, and you want to generate the power down and up to bounce the coin up into your hand with this half circle scoop, right? This gets into very fine level. We could continue. Let's avoid, this is pat the high horse. 1, turning direction, facing due north-south, pat the high horse, cross, reaching across the neck, turn for 2, turning, facing due west. This foot scoops up, and then it's just like brush, knee, press. We have a scoop, brush, knee, press, but we're adding that little foot at the beginning of it, right? And by the way, for advanced practitioners, people studying for second and third section, you see second and third section has a lot of repeating movements. Repulse the monkey, for instance. Sherfei is the same. In the second section, the right hand is needle at the bottom of the seat. But in the third section, after we ward off, after we have Sherfei, the left hand comes down. These kind of little details. Fold knees down appears 2.5 times, right? How is that possible? We have in the second section, we have Dibuhua, right? I'm trying to think of where it comes in. It's not important. But we have Dibuhua. And then in the third section, after something, cross kick, brush, punch low, we have another Dibuhua. Split, hook, whip, corner. And the last Dibuhua is a half Dibuhua. So the same way in the first section we see brush, knee, C-step, press, brush, knee, C-step, press, brush, knee, C-step. In the second section, we have this interesting from standing, pop, brush, knee, press, and then it changes on the third one, straight step, punch. So this is, in martial arts, there was an actor named Bruce Lee who wrote a book called Way of Jeet Kune Do, and he named this. I'm referring to this because I'm going to use the word that he invented, the term that he came up with. It was called motor setting, right? And this is setting up your opponent's motor skills to be a certain way, right? If you're brawling with some person, right, somebody, and you keep giving them one answer, they're going to keep expecting you to keep doing that. So on the third time, you change it. On the fifth time, you have to use your chi, use your sense to do it. So as we examine the form more, we see that many of these postures just have a variation. This one, and straight step punch, Jinbu Zaishui, is a type of variation from brush knee step, but it's now using Ji, popping like a staple power type thing from the center. Questions, thoughts, comments on what we're...
Brian, can we do a similar breakdown for the section in the second section following the Bon Lan Shui, the bend the bar?
Yes, let's look at that. Okay, so let's practice this one together. So we have a punch, and we have, this is called Zohua, is left deflect. So the punch is someone who's connected to our arm, and we actually want to bring that to our center so that we can reach our other hand under to start attacking the weak points on their hand, right? Go after the easiest targets first. So But in bringing this down to our center, you have to remember our opponent might be very strong. So we want to use the Taiji principle of this half circle connected to our center. So as we bring this down, the other hand is coming over to reach under this. Like the nickname that people used to give it is called bend the bar. So as if you had a, I don't have anything bendable here, but whatever, you get the ideas. Superman, a strong man, can take a metal bar and bend it in their hands. In this one, you want to have that power, and it wants to go through. There's a Taiji principle kind of that we should be practicing from the second section called San Tong Bei, which is power going through the back. So this power, even though in application it's only going to one hand to bring that wrist in, and this other hand is going to peeling, the power should spread all through the back. So bend the bar, peel off, and kick. Right? So punch. Somebody has grabbed my wrist. I'm going to bring the power to my center, attack the weak spot, and kick. So what does that look like? Avoid, make contact, advance. And so what's happening at the end, the hands? One teacher, TC, when he did this, he would put both hands up this way. But he would also say that it doesn't matter, because I saw in a book, Dr. Yang Yingming has a book on his Taiji form. And in his Taiji form, he has one hand lower. And I like that because to me it's type of yin yang. But you can do, maybe it's the reverse. Maybe TC did the yin yang and Dr. Yang did both hands up. Point is, it's not important. It's what you like. And what you envision. If the opponent is still there, right? I've done a punch, I've bent the bar, I've peeled off. Here, I imagine I'm still holding on to their pinky or their thumb, depending on which, or fingers, whatever I've started attacking, the back of the heel of their hand is still being restrained here. And this other hand is slapping, gouging something, and kicking. So that's the reason I do this. But there's another application where both hands are up. So you can practice that any way you like. Let's do that one more time. Or wait, from where we punch, we have bend the bar, peel off, kick. And then what's next is big rollback, Da Li. And this is a step back. We're opening. And then we're going to take another full step back. And we want to end up, you can bring it up to a square, but if you like to, you're in the park and you feel like you want to show people some dynamic Tai Chi, you can practice like this. Don't let your knee go past your toe that way. And also, again, this gets into the style of the calligraphy. Bend the bar. And then when I do this rollback here, these hands coming up, this can have a little step. Because in the meaning for embrace the tiger is cats always have that soft belly, right? But that's the most dangerous place for them. That's the softest. They have a spine and shoulder blades and stuff on the back just like we do, but that soft belly. So the tiger, when you have to face an opponent, it's like a tiger. Maybe they're fast, big, maybe they have strong claws and feet. Sometimes the answer is right into the center. And that's what embrace the tiger is. These hands coming around backwards. So imagine if the tiger is in front of you and it has the soft belly, you want to put your belly up to the belly of the tiger and bring your hands around. We'll use can I use the fruit stand? Something like this right here. I'm putting my face right next to my opponent's face, and then these hands coming around, there's a back power. So, like a recoil that's coming in through your wrists. So,
But Ryan, let me just ask a question. That doesn't take advantage of your opponent's soft belly, because if you're putting belly to belly, then you're still trying to attack them at the back, right?
But we're attacking, here's the thing, we're staying out of the way of the claws and the teeth, right?
I see, you're trying to defuse those.
If you had to fight a literal tiger and it rears up like this, you don't want to be within range of those claws. And this is a Japanese sword master said it like this. He says, if your opponent has a sword, imagine this is a sword. Oh, guys, I have a sword here, but I'm embarrassed. I have been using my kung fu for. Anyway, it has a cat toy on it. But if you can ignore the cat toy, right? It's actually pretty effective because I can practice my sword and mess around with the cat. So that said, if you have an opponent with a sword, there was a Japanese sword master named Tabata, and he said, because I wanted to know, how do you deal with a sword? What are you going to do? You're going to get cut. I had one teacher, he said, when there's a blade, expect cut. It's a reality. But this Japanese man said, you must duck below the handle of your opponent's weapon to succeed. And I thought, well, that's stupid, because my opponent's not always going to be raising the thing up here. And then it made sense, right? If you can ignore the little pendulum happening here, right? Is that ducking below the weapon means getting inside the circle, the perimeter. So the camera right now is in danger of the sword. Anytime your point of view right here is outside of this, my circle, there's danger. But if we can get the camera inside the handle, then there's no danger, because the person can't, we're tied up. The person, imagine there's a person here, right? And they're in danger. They can get cut a million different ways. But if they pop into here, I have to turn the sword back on myself, or start using the hilt, or attack low, and that buys them. So this is the idea of embrace a tiger. Sometimes we don't want to be on the outside. It's like the eye of the hurricane. We go to the inside and attack in that way. So it's an unorthodox technique. It's not always to be used. And again, remember the names. We have white crane, and we have a tiger. This one's called embrace a tiger. So we need to get close. And where are these hands going? The first one going to the side of the head, right? So there's all of this coiling motion coming to the temple. And it really anywhere, from the cheek to the side of the face, the jawbone, the orbital of the eye, any of these areas, if your fist has that recoiling power, any of that. And this other one is trying to hit the kidney or the soft tissue around the kidney between the ribs and the pelvis. Don't hit the pelvis, that's too hard. Kidney, you won't hurt yourself and they'll be in a lot of pain. Ribs, you can knock the wind out of them, something like that. But you should have a meaning for where they go, right? And it should be like a Tai Chi, like a yin yang. We should always be using the yin and yang symbol as a guide for our practice.
So the upper hand the upper hand is basically doing the same thing you would be doing with two winds in the ear, right?
That is correct. In fact,
okay.
Let's continue, because this is the section, the end of the second section that everybody likes to work on. So we're doing bend the bar, we have punch. This is called left deflect, by the way, because we peel off and we're, I don't know, deflecting the left side of the opponent. I'm not certain, but that's why it got nicknamed bend the bar. And then from here, and again, in the Tai Chi form, if we like to do it to TC's perfect accuracy, we can step to a square, do our big roll back Da Lui, step to another square, and still end up in TC's form. This is perfectly acceptable Tai Chi. You can practice this way. Let's look at it from another way. So after we do bend the bar, now when you feel comfortable, if your body is conditioned the right way, you can step, punch. And that was the other thing I mentioned, that there can be a little step in there. So after the big rollback, once we're here, we can add a little inch. It's in martial arts called an inch step. And it's difficult because my feet's sliding here. But we can still do it. We should still be able to practice it. Don't have to add it. Can add it if you like. Feels powerful, right? Roll back and then embrace the tiger. And then the same thing. As I start to roll back, I'm opening. Remember, roll back is like hugging, like embracing. So I open, and I'm opening my foot at the same time. Roll back, embrace the tiger on the other side. Next, I'm facing the 45. Scoop the moon from the ocean, kick, brush, 2 winds go in the air. Did we miss this the first time we did the second section? I think, are you sure? I think I missed this. Anyway, 2 winds in the air. And so 2 winds in the air has that same, in an email descriptor I told somebody, I said, sometimes the power in Tai Chi is like the wacky waving inflatable arm flailing tube men that you see when you drive down Pico Boulevard for the oil change, right? They have some promotion and there's a dude and it's like the inflatable thing and then the fan powers up again and the things. This is a lot of times in Tai Chi we can think of the power shooting out of the arms as if we're like completely flexible, wacky waving inflatable arm flailing tube men. The power is so relaxed it can shoot to any direction that you want. So this is the same. We have embrace a tiger, scoop the moon from the ocean, brush, this whipping, and it's coming back on itself. And this one hitting the back of the head, right? Or if it's coming, so imagine that you're the camera. If it's coming this way, we would do the back of the head. But you can just turn it, because the name, as it says, 2 winds in the ears. So, like we had just described, above the temple, above the ear, on the side of the head, can result in death. Below the ear on the side of the head, probably knockout or extreme pain, could maybe damage some vertebrae if you do it wrong. Okay, so 2 winds in the ear. Everyone's cool up to that point. After this second thing, after the second embrace the tiger, I'm changing the direction of my square, 45 to the southwest. And I'm bringing my hands, this is scoop the moon from the ocean, up from the center, catch the opponent, pull down and kick. If they're still connected, brush past the legs, and then scoop up. We have a visitor here. Come on. Come on. We have a Tai Chi kitty. We don't know if she'll appear on camera just yet. All right, where were we? Scoop, and then, all right, so I have to get back on track. Second embrace the tiger, step back, scoop, pull, kick, and then this brush, there's 2 different ways, this is what I wanted to get at. There's 2 different ways to do this. After the brush, are you hungry, kitty? I'll have to get you some food in a second. Brush, you can just make that circle come all the way up and out, right? And there's a reason for this. So brush, 2 winds go in the ear. In Mandarin is air fong, one hair. 2 winds in the ear, right? So just the circle. Or if you like to be fancy, you can, after you, hang on, I'll send a can of food back there with you. Yeah. Alright, you got food back there. If you're watching, you may see. Alright, where were we? So, can come right up around, or brush. Now that this momentum has gone out, I can bring it back up through the center and then around again. So like it's making 2 Tai Chi shapes on either side. I'm exaggerating, I'm making it pretty big. But the concept is this. If you have your opponent and they're facing you like this, you can go all the way around their defenses. Right? If they're centered, they have their guard this way, you can just go around that and hit on the sides, the more simple of the 2, the outer circle of the Tai Chi symbol. Or if they're, like we said, like a tiger here, or they have something here, we can go to the inside and then come around to hit this way. So like making a Tai Chi shape. Right? Yes, Aaron, that looks great. And you'll feel it. It will feel should feel powerful. Just even with a little bit, you should feel, if you can keep it relaxed, that you can pop those things up that way. Is that more clear? Right? There's two, all the way up or
Awesome.
through the center.
Brian, the one thing I get, so scooping the moon from the ocean, I get that. You're pulling down the arms. And then the next part after that, I'm a little confused about the timing of where you're potentially brushing the arms off again.
Okay, let's bookmark it when, from the second embrace of tiger, I step back, avoid, make contact, advance, right? And then the next one, the avoid is I'm pulling this back, and in fact the avoid on this one is the step down, because this one is if somebody's grabbing your leg. In wrestling, a lot of times people like to shoot in. It's called shooting in on the leg, right? They want to reach in and grab your leg. So if that's happening, when your leg is here, the step down first is the avoid. They can help drive them off. And then if they're still connected, this punch, if they're holding your leg, you're attacking all these nerves. If their forearms are here, you're attacking the soft skin. Right, so these punches, it's not actually hitting yourself, but it sounds cool. You're hitting, your opponent is somehow trying to attach to your leg, right? So we're hitting the opponent. We're not hitting ourselves. In the form, it's cool to make a sound, right? It's like, but in the real, we want to focus all that power if the opponent's hands, wrist, forearm, even if they're snugging this way, they have it all the way up to their shoulder. You crush the skin. It's where it's connected here. It will be very painful, right? If you're trying to hold and we force that impact onto the seam of where their skin is, not ours. We're not hitting ourselves. So
I think I get so we do it with our leg up, but what you're saying is in reality you would be trying hard to get your leg down
simultaneously.
Got it.
Right? So the step. But you can do it separate as long as you know the right way. As long as you understand what the meaning of the thing. Somebody's grabbed your leg, right? Pop, pop. Very simple. But then in the Tai Chi form, we want to see how much momentum we can carry through to the next phase, to the next posture, the next series of postures, the next power output. So the same thing. We can pop and then recoil the power and step back, but you could essentially, if you're doing something and somebody grabs up on your leg, I'm sorry, Kitty, I gotta teach some Tai Chi here. She's jittery because she's feral. All right, so punch. More clear on that one.
Yes, thank you.
Okay,
that's great.
So then from after this is another one that confuses people because this has very heavy bagua in it. When I step back, I'm on my right foot, I pull left, kick left, right? I'm gonna make this very simple so we can break it down, and then later you can amp it up and put all of your bagua zhang flavoring on it if you like. When you step back, pull left, kick left. Think of this one like ringing the bell. If you have a big bell and it has a rope, you pull the rope and the bell rings. The same thing, your opponent is reaching. And when they reach, we pull and kick at the same time, causing them to stumble and also receive an impact on the leg they may try to step on. And this will be easier to do with two people, right? So pull left, kick left. And then in the form, we take 1, 2, 3 steps to make a 360 facing the same direction, but now we're standing on the left foot, right? Let's practice that a few times. So from here, we step back, pull left, kick left, 1, 2, 3, standing on the left foot, pull right, kick right. So that's how that posture reverses from one side to the other. Now let's add some details. From 2 wins in the ear, step back, pull kick, turn, pull kick. When I first started studying with TC, I had gone to see another Tai Chi school, very big Tai Chi school in Los Angeles. They have hundreds of students. And in their Tai Chi form, they have this posture, except they do something like that. They're literally spinning in place. And I asked my teacher, I said, why is that other school? I said, why do we have all this walking? So imagine you're the camera person, right? And you're right here at the camera and you can punch at me any time that you want. And I do this and I start turning in place. When's a good time to punch, right? Now imagine the same thing. You're in the camera and you can shoot a bullet or a fist out at any time. Pull. Now watch this. I'm off the center. Oh, no, I'm back on the center line. So we're taking a little triangular step off the center line. And this goes into the Bagua. This starts getting into the Bagua principles. This is, Tai Chi and Bagua are the same thing. They use the same symbols, the same trigrams. Sometimes it's reversed. Sometimes it's the same. It's very high level. We'll continue with that. So let's do wings in the ear, step back, pull kick, turn, 2, 3, pull kick. What's happening with the arms? We've been talking about the legs. From here, when I step back and pull, my arms, I'm covering, put the hands like this, right? TC a lot of times would have the hands here. You can pull them in or bring them out. Keep your shoulders relaxed so we're not tense. But this kind of movement, right? Very round and soft. So when I turn, what's happening? I'm protecting my head and I'm preparing to grab. So I've done a pull kick, and now when I turn, I know that my opponent is here, or I'm going to have more opponents, and we can deal with multiple opponents coming. So when I turn, I want to make sure at least that my turning side is covered so that I don't get hit, right? This getting hit in your arm is much better than hitting the head. And then when I get to here, I can change that to something else. Questions, thoughts, comments, ideas? Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, where is the, when you pull down, pull right, kick right, or pull left, kick left, in terms of, the application, I know you said we weren't going to do application, but it does help in terms of just kind of having the visual in your head while you practice. When you pull down, it's so close, right? And you're pulling it. It's almost like in the first section when we guide a punch into the center and we hold it and do something with it because it's right there. It's very close. But here, it's, what are we pulling down exactly? Like the shoulder, or okay, the wrist.
Yes.
And we're dragging it down, and then if they go away from us, we can follow them.
Now this one not necessarily as much about following. Once I get back to here, it's like a double hit. They're getting yanked at their wrist and kicked in the shin at the same time. It's very simple. This one, I know some of these techniques, they look too good to be true, but it's not the movies. Right? If there's a person that you have to deal with, and you can pull them off balance and kick them anywhere, like I said, the attack surface being from the knee all the way down to the foot. All of this is sort of delicate, so if you can put some power in that, they're off balance and now they have pain in their leg. And that gives you the opportunity to run or to change or to, yeah, go ahead.
And it is that snap kick that you talked about, right? On the second two, or on both the pull right, kick right, pull left, kick left. Both of those are snap kicks. Is that correct?
I think this one I would call this one a heel kick. We do, like, you can do a heel kick for this one. It's maybe not as natural, but for this, the pull, this is, and when I say heel kick, it's the kind of power. It's that shooting out of the heel power. You may not hit with the heel, you may hit with the knife edge of the foot or something, but it's the shocking, not the snapping. I don't know if that makes sense, but you'll feel a difference when you're here. When you pull, this is like the head of an axe, your foot, it's a heel. You're kicking somewhere down here in the soft, the ankle, shin, right? So pull, kick, and then when you turn, pull, kick. You see, I just turned in place. You can do it. There's big Taiji schools that do it. But you should know in a martial art, if you turn in place, you're going to get hit, right? You have to turn off the center line and come back to it. In the form, we can make it face the same direction. We can even arrive in the same place. But in reality, it's not realistic. So, questions, thoughts, comments here. Step back, kick. 1, 2, 3. And then the arms, again, the whole time, like a circle, like 2 circles like this. So I have 2 wings in the ear, step back, kick, 1, 2, timed out so that my hand is grabbing to pull kick here and then turn the other way. And Aaron, if you were watching carefully that last time, I just did a snap kick. So you can modify. I would say for the book, this one should probably be, I think it's Deng Jiao's heel kick. But my man,
It's interesting because TC corrected me very, very directly. I would say that he even got irritated with me in that I had thought that that was a heel kick too, with the same application that you're envisioning. But he corrected me.
You know what? You could be right. This one, because this one is where people who like to do the big fancy Taiji form, that's where they do this thing, right? So if you want to do it for that type of performance, you have to do the full leg like this. Maybe
That's
it's a
the
toe
same
kick.
move. That's the same move in those. When you see that move in other forms, that's the same. They're doing the same. That's that interpretation of that stance.
Yes, at least.
I wouldn't have recognized
if it's
it.
the same thing, right? Because what I want you to do is I want you to be able to read and write Tai Chi. Because there may be some other posture that has a very similar, something similar. But you should be able to identify, like, other Taiji forms. If they have that movement, going to have something similar around it, right? You should be able to see where it comes out and where it goes into. So, go on YouTube and look at some Taiji videos and see if you can you recognize their push? It might be a lot different than ours, but we're all speaking the same language. This is like, for anyone here, I'm in the United States, and I think Spanish is our second most spoken language, and I speak a little bit of Spanish. I used to speak a lot more. But if you go to Mexico, or you go to Spain, or you go to Argentina, the Spanish is completely different in every place. But you can understand, you can get it, right? Especially if you're fluent. The more fluent you are, the more you can say, oh, they use a slightly different way to spell that conjugation or whatever. You can feel the vibe. And if you're really good, you can follow the Italian. And if you're really good, you can follow the French. So it's the same. Tai Chi is like learning a language. The movement, you can look into another person's form and say, oh, I know what that posture is. Or at least it's similar enough, something. Let's continue, if there's not more questions. And by the way, I want you to become your own sort of stylist, your own martial artist. When you practice these things, you may have some idea that's different than mine. And in your mind, if the martial arts application is correct and the principles are all correct, your posture can be correct, your movement, your meaning can also be correct. So we're looking for mostly the correct principles. This particular form that I teach is a little bit like a song or a poem that somebody made a long time ago, and we keep passing it down. So it's going to change a little bit. A word here and there is going to change. Maybe one practitioner is just not very limber, but they're very powerful, so they're going to teach the form a different way. Gene had a completely different set of applications than TC did. And studying Master Yun's Tai Chi, I see another set of applications. So, kind of like a programming language where you can construct many things by using the right ideas. Yeah, let's continue. Questions, thoughts? We were at the end of the second section, and we had just got done doing...
You know, Brian, I'm going to have to take off.
Yeah.
But thank you for this class. It's an awesome class, and I'm going to practice all 3 sections during the week. That's my goal, so I have better questions for next week. But yeah, so much to practice with. Thank you.
Well, I'll put this online as well, so we can see it for later. But anything else you want to say? If it's time, we can use this as a segue to close. But if you'd like to still, for anyone else still here, if you'd like to practice.
Yeah, I have to go too. This is...
Brian,
I'm glad you had this extra class. I like this. Thank you.
if there's time, it would be great to do all 3 forms one more time just to cement it, if you don't
Yeah, in
mind.
fact, that would be great, just so that for people viewing at home. So if you need to go, just log out as...
I'll stay for the one more form.
Okay, cool.
I'll catch you guys next week.
The first time, have a good one. Thank you. Remember, the first time we did this, it took about 20 minutes, and we're flying through it. So if you're watching along at home, we are moving a little bit fast, but it's for the sake of the time. So let's start. Bring your head top up. Relax your tailbone. Starting in Tai Chi Harmony, move your chi to the center. Move your energy to the center of your body. Connect your tongue to the upper palate. Relax. Allow your breathing to be more relaxed and longer. Open to the side. Breathing. Right grasp the sparrow's tail. Left ward off. Breathing again. Left grasp the sparrow's tail. Step forward. Right ward off. Breathing. Turn. Let's roll back. This is press. Square step facing north. Push. Look left. Glance right. Double press. Horizontal. Split hands. Hook. Single whip. Turning the square to the north. This is lift hands to up posture. Turning the square 90 degrees facing west. This is crane opening the wings. Play the harp. Brush knee. Press right to the center. Square step back. Crane opening the wings. Play the harp. Brush knee. Press. Brush knee. Twist step. Palm press. Brush knee. Twist step. Palm press. Holding the moon in the chest. Punch. Fan Shui, I'm going to reset. Is move, parry, punch, move, parry, punch, one more, move, parry, punch, as if you're enclosed, press, press, return tiger to mountain. We're continuing, so bring the feet together, form a T shape, step to the square. This is called turning body, warning palm. Take a deep breath to roll back. Join the palms together, press, push, look left, glance right, double press, horizontal, split hands. The owl show is hook, turn back to look at the moon. Right hand covers, left hand through the center. Repulse the monkey. Make your breathing, when you practice at home, try to make your breathing match the movement. You're moving a little fast. This is diagonal flying. Needle at the bottom of the C, back and neck are straight. Fan through back. Block, punch, kick. Square step. Parry, punch, keep your head top up. Dibouhua is fold knees, change step, roll back, breathe deep. Press. Push. Look left, glance right, double press. Horizontal split, hook, side whip. This is bow hands. 2, 2, 3, 3. What we just covered, corner whip. Pat the tall horse on the back. 1, pat the high horse. Number 2, turn to the west, scoop, brush knee, press. Brush knee, C step, twist step, press, brush knee, straight step, punch to groin, turn, block, punch, kick, square step, parry, punch, left, deflect, kick, big roll back, embrace tiger, big roll back, embrace a tiger, scoop the moon from the ocean, kick, brush, 2 winds going in the ear, step back, pull left, kick left, 1, 2, 3, pull right, kick right, block, punch, kick, facing west, square step, parry, punch, as if an enclosure, press, turning to the north, return tiger to mountain, bring the feet together, form a T, step to the square. That's called turning body, warning palm, roll back. Press, push, look left, glance right, double press, horizontal split, hook. This is a side whip. We're facing the east. Wild horse parts its mane right side. Wild horse parts its mane left side. Wild horse parts its mane right side. And breathing deep, we return to roll back. Press. Push. Left. Glance right. Double press. Horizontal split. We're facing north. Hook. Side whip. This is Jade lady working the shovel. Turn. Press. Scoop. Step. Press. Turning. Look left. It's like a rollback, kind of, and then we go right into press, breathing deep, push, look left, glance right, double press, horizontal split, turns our square back to the north. And now this is a corner whip. You can make the step longer because we're going to do snake creeping down, into Jinji Duli, number 1, Jinji Duli, number 2, repulse the monkey, 1, we're in the third section, repulse the monkey, 2, repulse the monkey, 3, Sherfei, opening to the side, shoulder bump, diagonal flying, needle at the bottom of the seat. Center tombe, block punch kick, lan, shui. Here's the second Bihua. Shang bu yi. Change step, roll back. Breathe deep, press, push, left, glance right, double press, horizontal, smiling hands, hook. The last one went to the corner, so this one is parallel. And we're at cloud hands in the third section. Press right. 1. Right, left, cloud hands, 2. Right, left, cloud hands, 3. Hook, corner whip, turning my square 90 degrees to the west. Snake flashes its tongue, turning, kick, cross kick, step, punch low. This is a half Bihua. Change step, breathe deep to roll back. We're almost there. Press, push, look left, glance right, double press, horizontal, split, almost hook, corner whip. You can take a longer step on this one because this is the second snake creeps down. Ride a tiger. Lotus kick. Open the bow to shoot a tiger. Block, punch, kick, square step. Parry. Punch as if you're enclosed. Turn your square back to the north. Return tiger to mountain. Block. Punch right. Punch left. Bring everything back to the center. Take a deep breath. Questions, thoughts, comments, ideas? Right on time. We're getting
Yeah,
a note.
I have to go. Shay Shay,
Thank you.
thank you.
For everyone else, remember, after you do this kind of practice, remember, take even 5 seconds before you go on to the next thing. Breathe deep, collect all your chi at the center, and take the minimum of the half smile with you.